Welcome to my video. I'm Vinudhi Wahalathanthri and I'm here with my first video from the DBMS 51 video series. So in this video, we'll be talking about one of our question sets. Okay, so in this video, we'll be talking about our first question set. So let's see what we have done to solve these questions in this question set. Okay, so let's begin. The data of all the students and teachers of Pinnadur Mahavidyalaya are stored in books. As a result, some data has been destroyed. So this means that for a while, all the data of students and teachers has been stored in books. So it's not safe to keep in books. So then when data is stored in books, some data gets destroyed. So therefore, the principal of the school has decided to enter the data of all the students and teachers in the school into a computer software. The software was commissioned by HeidiSQL. Okay, so the principal of the school has decided to enter the data of all the students and teachers into a school database or computer software. So this software is commissioned by HeidiSQL. So assume you work as a software engineer for that company and the part you are assigned is to create the database. So let's think that you are a software engineer and the part or the main role you do in this company is to create the database. So to do this, create a database using the information below. So this is our question. So using these details below, we have to solve this question. So let's begin. So our first question is create a database called SchoolDB. Okay, so now I will go to my database, HeidiSQL. So this is my database management system software that I'm using to create my databases. So now I will create a database using this. So as our question, they have given create a database called SchoolDB. So this is the name we are going to give for our database. Okay, so now I will create my database. So now when we go down, you can see that SchoolDB, the database has been created. Okay, so let's see what's the next question. So next they have asked create a table called student to store the student's data. Follow the instructions below to create this table. So they have told us to create a table called students and follow the instructions below to create this table. So they have given the instructions over here. So over here they have given the table name and over here they have given the student. So our column name will be index node. Our data type will be water and length. So likewise, we have to follow these instructions to create our database table. Okay, so now I will create a table as students in this database. Okay, so the table name will be students and from here I can give or add my columns. Okay, so our first column is index node. It has a water of 10 and first name water 45 and last name water 45, gender 10, contact node water 10, address water 60. So this water is our data type. So this water is like a length, kind of a length. So let's see how I am going to add these data. So this tables should have a primary key. So I'm going to add this index node as my primary key. So let's begin to create our first column. Index node and I'll give the data type as water and we had our length as 10, water 10. And now let's make this to our primary key. So over here we have an option as create new index and now I'll add my primary key. So this is how I add my primary key. So let's see how I add my other columns. So likewise, I have created these columns as well. So I have added my index no, my first name, last name, gender, contact no, and address. So now I'm ready to save these columns. So using this button, I can save. Okay. So using this button, I can save my columns. So now if we move on to see the data, in our table, likewise, the columns has been added over here. So let's move on to see the next question given. So we have completed our student table. So next they have given a question as create a table called teacher to store the teacher's data. Follow the instructions below to create this table. So now we made the student table. So now we are going to make the teacher's table. So we are going to follow the same method to create the teacher's table as well. So we go to our database, right click, create new table, give a name as teacher, and we start making our columns. Okay, so our primary key will be teacher register now. So I'll give the name as teacher register no, and that would be a Watcha 10. And I'll give the length as 10. And now let's make this as my primary key. Right click, create new index, primary. Okay, so now the teacher register number is our primary key. So likewise, let's create our other columns. Okay, so next let's enter our email, and now I'm ready to save this table. So using this button, I will save my table. So now it has been saved. So let's see how it's viewed in this data tab. Okay, so likewise, all the columns of the teacher table has been saved like this. So this is all for this question set. So I'll be back with a new question set in my next video. So stay tuned. Have a nice day and bye.